We're going to chat now to our weather guru, baby. All right. And here he is in the flesh, sitting in his home with the lovely curtains in the background. Garth Sampson, hello. How are you?
Hello, Gino, and hello, everybody.
Fantastic to have you on, Garth. And you know, whenever we get you on, it's just bad news after bad news. And I hope that I don't know if it's going to change much, but I'm sure we can have a good chat tonight and find out exactly what's happening. And I hope you've been well. We haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, you've been as scarce as the rain. I'm trying to coax my wife to make me a cow like the Grim Reaper, but she says my haters will become more and more and more.
Oh no! Well, go. Tell us what the situation is with the rainfall this year so far. Can you take us through a bit of a recap?
Well, if Gary can throw that one slide up with the graph,
yes,
we can see there January was above normal. February and March was dismally below normal, and we're sitting at 25% below normal so far this year. We're supposed to have a good chance of getting rain in April. That did not or has not materialized. And if we look at the 2-week forecast, it's not likely. Interesting thing is May, as you can see there, is a month that we're supposed to get good rain. Yes. But a very disturbing factor is, remember our records go back to 1900. Yes. Since 2007, we've had a disastrous May. So that is very disconcerting if we have to look at the seasonal forecast later. So I'm very worried if I'm going to have any water for my whiskey.
I'm sure, me too. You know, but you say so. It's specifically that time of year that's just the rain has vanished from that time, which was always our good time.
Yes, this is the time of the year that we are supposed to get the cutoff low. Remember, we are predominantly in a dry zone. So if you take it over the long term, your mathematical average gives you, if you know a little bit about statistics, gives you your average. But if you take the extremes out, our average is much less than it is. And it's only the flood years that pushes our average. So in other words, we've got more below average years than above average years. It's just that when we do get above average years, it's a hell of a lot above.
Most a lot of rain. Okay, so we would hope that it would just defer that rain. It would just you know, maybe be a little bit later in the year. Maybe it'll change the cycle. We hope.
Well, like I say, this weatherman is extremely concerned.
Okay, well, like, you know, for me, it's like weather stuff for amateurs here. So I've got to rely on what you say. And tell me, I saw a weather guru pose on dry ground just recently. There we go. Gary put it up there. That's parched ground there. What's going on? Tell us what's happening there.
That is the most scariest experience I've ever had, besides the disaster that happened there. But that's a story for another day. But that is the bottom of the Impofo Dam. That is the Impofo Dam. I'm sitting in the bottom, just next to the intake tower, where the normal means of extracting water. In the background, you see a bit of water, and at the right at the back, you see a barge. That barge cannot extract any more water there. It's got to be taken further downstream, closer to the wall, to get any water. This dam, nobody has seen the bottom of the dam since it was constructed in 1983. This, I tell you, if you standing there, it's like my wife said, she went with me. It is the most scariest thing, and people really don't understand the gravity of the situation. Being there, you really take it in.
40 years ago, basically, you're saying 1983. And I mean, that is parched. That is completely dry.
Yeah, if Gary puts up the next slide of the dam, you can see there on the left, those columns of the tower is. On the right, you see the tower. Then just a little bit up, you see those white dots. That's where the normal bottom limit is. The black pipe there is the one that the municipality is trying to extract every last drop of water. You can see the ground is parched. It's rock hard. You don't even sink there. It is hard.
And you got an interesting story about your this is more posh. Is that the mayor with you there?
That's it. You don't go visiting the dam with the mayor. He said we had the photos taken, and he said, "Well, I've got another meeting. Goodbye." And he politely jogged up the side of the wall. And me being an old man, had to take my time. And as I was climbing, a spider got hold of me.
Yes.
And it is now almost a month later, and I'm still suffering with my leg.
A spider bite.
A spider bite. You cannot believe, just 2 little pinpricks.
Jeez, okay. Yeah, that's all it needs for the poison or whatever is gonna happen. Okay, now the forecast for the rest of the year. Let's have a look at the seasonal forecast.
Well, I just want to say when it's brown, flush it down. But
is that bad?
Yeah, it's that bad. You can see there on the western half of the region, right the way through to August. It works on a 3-month cycle. So there is the white means that if you run the model so many times, it won't get to the same answer. So it's not 100, it's got to get there 80% of the time. But 80% of the time you run the model, it is below normal over our catchment area. That is scary. And remember, it's not people want to shout nooit gedacht and that type of thing.
Yeah.
But remember, the bay, Nelson Mandela Bay, PE, Uitenhage, is not the only place here that relies on that water. You remember St. Francis, Jeffreys, Humansdorp, Potensi. They only get their water from the dams. They got no access to nooit gedacht. They've got a couple of boreholes. The farmers, they get only from the dams. So when those dams run dry, places like St. Francis, Jeffreys
Bay,
Potensi. Oyster Bay, Potensi, where are they going to get water from? You know, people always want to point fingers at the farmers, but without those farmers, that industry is a multi-billion rand industry.
Of course,
that sustains us all. So employment. Just imagine how much petrol they use, fertilizer, instruments, whatever. You know, it will kill the economy of the bay. That is why we've got to be resilient and understand this is never going to go away, this water shortage, and we've got to get in the mindset of Cape Town. But alas, we are not in the mindset of Cape Town because we've got this I-me syndrome. I'm not worried about anybody else. It's just for me.
So you say nooit gedacht would help the city, but not the surrounding area.
Not the surrounding areas, only the city. So, or Port Elizabeth, Uitenhage, and then only certain parts of the city. The municipality has been very resilient to try and get the water. But unfortunately, this weekend, the pumps crashed through Eskom.
And load shedding doesn't help either.
And those areas didn't get water. And there's certain areas in the bay that didn't get water either. And the people were bitching and moaning like anything. All I can say is get yourself a tank. I don't even know if there's a water outage.
Well, that's a good spot to punch your sponsors now for the tanks.
Yes,
there we go.
Well, I must punt them even a step further. EcoTanks has done some wonderful work. They've done donations, and where there's been problems with installations that weren't done properly by the Metro, Chris has phoned me and said, please, who can I contact? I see this tank is leaking, and they didn't put a plumbing tape on. Not at all. And Aldrina, overall, fantastic. He has got an absolute passion for what he does. And he's done assisted the MTR Smith with their installations free of charge and that. So really, they are coming to the party fantastically.
Okay. Oh, good. Well done to them. And I see that you were recently the subject of a cartoon here. I see. I think Derek Nesbitt obviously been busy.
Derek Nesbitt's been busy. I love it. Of course, I've got a lot of flack from the religious community, but remember, the Weather Guru is just a tongue-in-cheek that was created by Darren Mann, and it's got no religious connotations.
The Weather Guru. You haven't got. I can't see your spider bite there. Go and check it. And but you have been involved with the Herald and the Weekend Post as well. I see.
Yes. That has been great. They've given me a column, and I've thoroughly enjoyed this. Everybody thinks writing is an easy task. Writing a letter or a technical paper is easy, but when you've got to try and capture, as you know, capture the interest of the community or the reader or the listener or the viewer, that becomes a bit more difficult. But I'm thoroughly enjoyed this, and I want to pursue more in the future.
Oh, brilliant. Well, Garth Sampson, fantastic to have you on the show again after a drought ourselves from having you on the show. And we hope to have you on more often so we can find out what exactly what we need to do and if there's any measures we can take to try and help the water situation.
Thanks, Gino. And just save that water.
Yeah, we'll do. We got the tanks. I got it. We got it.